Hi, my name is Kane.
I'm Dion.
And I'm Paul.
And we're going to talk to you about our upcoming film, The Groves. The Groves is a horror film being produced here in Adelaide by us at Freeze Frame Films. The film is about a young couple who visit an old mangrove trail, and when they're out there, things start to take a bit of a turn for the worst.
The Groves will be shot entirely on location at an actual mangrove forest. This is an element of the production that we believe will really allow us to create a genuinely thrilling daytime horror film.
The three of us run Freeze Frame Films, and we've been working together since 2010.
Over the years, we've produced a variety of short films. We've obviously dabbled into your corporate stuff as well, but our passion lies in storytelling. I'd say our favourite genre would have to be horror.
Oh yeah.
Our goal for Freeze Frame Films is to make this a full-time gig. Filmmaking is our passion, and we hope to continue this for the rest of our lives. The film has been 10 months in the making. We now have a finalised script and cast ready to go, and we're now in the stages of pre-production.
I'm Katarina.
I'm Sean Fleur.
My name's Dylan Warren, and I'm playing... What am I playing?
I will be playing Jess in the upcoming film The Groves. I moved to Adelaide about 3 years ago, and everyone that I've told that I'm doing this, they're like, we had no idea that there was a mangrove trail in Adelaide, which I think is absolutely brilliant for a film. Everyone will be like, oh my God, I've never seen something like this before. It's completely different from what they've usually seen. I do love intense scenes, and I love getting angry or crying or screaming, running and all that, getting dirty. I love all that. So that kind of interested me quite a bit.
I'll be playing the role of Chris in The Groves. One of the things that actually attracted me to the role was that I had a conversation with the guys at Freeze Frame, and we talked about how there's this perception that there's no places to film in Adelaide, and that aesthetically you'd always go to Melbourne or Sydney or elsewhere, and yet in Adelaide we have a whole variety of different places. There's just this myriad of beautiful spots where you can film in Adelaide, and there's just kind of so many possibilities in that realm. So it's kind of good to see a bunch of people that are kind of committed to using Adelaide as a backdrop to tell stories. Furthermore than that, just this perception that you can't make genre films in Adelaide, you can't make good genre films in Adelaide, which is completely false. And I think that The Groves presents an opportunity to show that whether it's sci-fi, fantasy, horror, there is kind of the opportunity here to tell great stories.
Now, the role that I'm playing is quite physically demanding, so much so that my body is quite contorted. And to make sure that I can do this properly for all you at home to enjoy, I have been taking contortion classes where they teach you how to bend in ways that should not be humanly possible. I'm hoping that by the end of this project, with all the training that I'll have under my belt, I can get cheap flights by contorting myself into people's luggage and finding my way across the Atlantic. I've worked with Freeze Frame Films before on another project called Stay Hidden. It was very physically demanding, and it took upwards of 6 hours in 2 makeup chairs to make me look like the creature needed. That was full face prosthetics, sclera contacts, bald caps, full paint and latex over the body, prosthetic teeth, and many, many more.
A lot of horror these days tends to be about explosions and jump scares and just really kind of cheap thrills. What's important about what Freeze Frame is doing, and to the extent The Groves, is that reading the script, 70% of the film is atmosphere. The way the sound is going to be utilised, the way that the Groves themselves are going to be implemented into the script. It's not so much about the dialogue and the story, although those are important. It's just as important to capture the tone and capture the feel right, and that's where a lot of the focus and the emphasis is being put on, which is part of the reason that I'm really excited, because it's just as much about what is heard and what is seen rather than what's said.
For the film The Groves, we'll be running a campaign with Indiegogo, helping to raise money for everything that we'll need for the cast, the crew, equipment and anything else that will be needed, and we really appreciate it if you could help support us by raising money and donating to us.
Our goal is to crowdfund $6,000 to allow production to go ahead. These funds will be used for a range of production costs as listed in our campaign on Indiegogo.
Once the film has been completed, we'll be holding a local cinema premiere. We will then be looking to release The Groves via a digital platform.
So thank you for taking the time to look at our campaign, and we hope you will support us in making The Groves.
Every week in Australia, a horror film goes unfunded. And you, at home, can help stop this travesty. Help us! Help us get the Groves off its feet. Too many films die in the minds of the writers. We want to see this go from pen and paper to screen to your living room and then your nightmares. Help us, help you, help us, see them, help him.